Hello, welcome to Scrap Time, episode 1030. My name is Christine, and on today's episode, I'm showing you the Tim Holtz Distress Spray Stains by Ranger. Today I am showing you the Tim Holtz Distress Spray Stains by Ranger, and I'm going to show you how to make a card with them. So I made these cards using the Crazy Birds and the hashtag stamp sets. And they're all sort of the same, except just with the different colors of spray. So if you like distress products, and first you like the inks, and then you like the stains, well, now we have the best of both worlds with spray stains. So you can see here that I sprayed the background, I stamped, and then I'm going to paint around it, and that just highlights the stamped area a bit more. And I also want to show you my journal. I did something similar, and then, so after I sprayed the background, I'm practicing drawing my princesses, and then I painted around it, or in the white, and that just makes the face pop. So I used some of the blue and pistachio and the yellow. Here are some other colors. And then Cinderella with the blue and yellows again. So you can use them in your journal with this technique, or you can make cards. So I have my card here, and I like to work sometimes on a paper towel. It just helps with the mess, even though I have my craft mat. And I'm using a watercolor card, which works really well because it will absorb the liquid. Now I'm just going to get a second card. I'll be right back. The reason why I wanted a second card is when I spray on here, I'm going to have a lot of ink, and I can use my card here to absorb. Now, as you can see, they're two different sizes, and that's because I took my 5x7 card and I cut it down to the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just because I find it's a better size for the stamps that I am using. So, what color? Well, I love Spice Marmalade, and I love Picked Raspberry, and I probably have to throw a yellow in there, so some Squeezed Lemonade. So those are the colors I'm going to use. These are 3 of my favorite colors. Of course, you can use whatever colors. These come in a huge range of colors, but I personally like all the bright colors. So I'm just going to spray a bit of the orange. I'm going to spray some Picked Raspberry, and then I like to spray the Squeezed Lemonade sort of over it to blend it. So you can see I used a lot of spray, so that's when I can come in with my card. I'm going to sort of measure it up so then I can cut this. And I can do this. And then there I have another card with the same sprays, and I can add some water to it. I can even come back down here and pick up some more from that card. And that's how I can get 2 cards with the 1 spray. So I'm going to focus on this card here, and I want to dry it. Now you can see down here where the water has sort of leaked down there. I can just go over and touch it, or put a paper towel there just to reduce some of that, or soak it up. Now I'm just going to dry it a little more. Okay, that's good enough. So next, I just want to show you how these work the same as your distress inks. So I'm taking water in my hand, and I'm just putting some splatters down. And you can see how it will activate the same way that your distress ink's activated, and will make little water splotches or like lighter splotches on it. So I'm going to go in with my heat tool again to dry up that water that I just put on my card. I can also, there's still some water there, just take my paper towel and do that to pick it up. And you can see now all those little water spots on the card. Now the stains, spray stains, also come in metallic. I have tarnished brass. There's a mixing ball in there. You could hear it a moment ago. There it is. Now I just want a little bit. I don't want to spray a lot on. So what you can do is just open it up and then just hit it to get those splatters. Just like that. So I just have that little bit of splattering of the metallic, and now I just need to dry that. So just like that, my background is done, and I can move away my paper towel. Just so you know, I had put some washi tape in my card to hold it together, because sometimes when you're working with the card it will go up. So I just put a little bit of washi tape because that just easily comes off afterwards. So now it is time to stamp. So as I mentioned, I think I called them crazy birds, but they're called Bird Crazy. I'm using the Bird Crazy stamp set from Tim Holtz. These are the 5 birds I previously used, so I'm going to use this one here that I hadn't used yet. And I'm going to stamp using black archival ink by Ranger. It's oil based, so it will stamp over all different mediums. Make sure has a lot of ink on him. I'm going to put him up here and just press down to make sure that all that ink gets transferred. Like that. There's our cute little bird. So you can see that that's great, he stands out, but I find now I'm going to go over with some white paint and you'll see the difference of how he will pop off the page. I have my palette here that I'm just going to put my paint on. You can always put your paint on whatever you want. If you want to put it right on your craft mat or on anything, wax paper, whatever. So I'm using a tiny brush because I just want to go up to that line. Now if we do cover the line, I will show you later, because more than likely at some point I am going to cover a line. We can easily fix that. So now this part is a bit of the tedious part because you will have to paint around him. I'm finding even a smaller brush just to try and get in his legs here. And the thing is too, because these are the spray mist or the spray stains are activated by water, you won't get that solid white paint. It will pick up some of the color, and so you'll see all those colors showing through the white, and I like that as well. So you don't want to make a really thick coat, you just want a thin coat around the bird. So I'm going to continue to paint all around him. So I finished painting the white, and you can see I left a frame around it. I didn't want to paint the whole thing. I want some of that color showing through. And then you can see through the white still, it's sort of yellow here and pinkish over here. You see the little water blotches as well as the metallic splotches all coming through that paint. Now, to go over the areas where I might have got some white paint, I just use a fine Sharpie, and you just sort of want to trace over it. Depending how much you covered, you might want to refer back to the stamp to see what it looked like. But I just have a few little areas here. And I find a Sharpie sort of blends well into what you stamped. And sometimes though I'll just go with my Sharpie and outline it anyway. So just like that, you can see all those little areas. And then now I used the hashtag stamp set. There's a whole pile of different hashtag words here. They're really fun. And this time I'm going to use hashtag bestie. Again with my archival ink, it will go over that paint. And just sort of down here, down. And there we go, we have our completed card. And that was using the Distress Spray Stains from Tim Holtz in a few colors, as well as the metallic one I just dropped on. I did the water drops, I stamped and then painted around it, touched it up where I painted over, added my sentiment, and we have these really cute stamps, or cards. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you some products from Waffle Flour. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.